Robert Jones. It's so good to see you again.
All right. The same here, Quintin.
I appreciate it greatly.
Always a pleasure, man.
Likewise. As you know, I saw you 2 weeks ago at the Cooper River Bridge Run when I was running over the bridge. And it was foggy, but there were a lot of people and we had fun.
A lot of people. Yeah, I was out there to support, especially the local runners who I know.
Yes.
Such as you. For the last past, I wouldn't say 48 years, but at least the last 25 years I saw you running in it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the concerned citizens of the Lowcountry and Peninsula have their annual fundraiser right after this bridge run.
Right, yes.
And I know it's the 4th annual, if I'm correct.
Correct. It is the 4th annual.
What is the biggest difference between 4 years ago and now in your mind?
Well, at least 4 years ago, we thought the first one would have been hard. And as you get in the year, you thought it would get easier.
Yes.
But it's getting harder as you go on in the year,
Ooh.
But otherwise, no, it is a blessing, man. It really is.
And you talk about hard. Obviously, fundraising is hard.
Very hard.
Where are you with that?
Well, right now, we's getting there. We ain't reached the goal yet of what we're trying to reach. On the other hand, Quintin, we still striving towards it. We still have people in the community we looking at too, such as yourself, that really do a lot of good work and people acknowledge it. So, we kind of add that into a part of the dinner too.
Absolutely. And obviously you honored me last year with the Windiger Yard Community Service Award.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, who are you honoring this year?
Well, to be honest with you, it's supposed to be a secret, but Demetrius Seabrooks, he's a sergeant for the city police department.
Yeah.
He has this team they call the CAT team, Community Action Team, and it's the CAT team. And so we noticed him for the past 3 to 4 years, man, and the service that he put out in the community is like way beyond. It's not beyond what you do, Quintin, but he was next in line to get it. So this is the second time that we're going to be presenting this award. So Sergeant Seabrooks going to be the person that we're going to honor this year and honor after the favorite Quintin was last year.
Well, thank you greatly.
Yes.
Obviously, the Concerned Citizens of the Lowcountry Peninsula was founded back in, I believe, 17 years ago.
Right, 17 years ago.
By the Honorable Reverend Alma Dungy.
Right, Reverend Alma Dungy were one of the members on the executive board. It was founded, like you said, 17 years ago, because during that time, when we were having like a whole lot of killing among young people under the age of 25 and under. And it was a vision. God gave me a vision, and mother, and Reverend Emerson Church on St. Philip Street. I went there to a funeral to bury one of the young men that came up under me playing sports. And some of the young men was there, like the Lonzo Simmons, who we call Flip, the manager at the Shaw Center now. They confronted me about it and said, if anybody can make a difference, points a coach, why not let it be you? So I had to took it, pray on it, and here I am 17 years later, man, still doing the same thing.
What was in that vision that you are actually seeing now?
Well, what I seen in that vision then, I'm still seeing it right now, is constantly to keep young people focused. We keep them focused, we keep them involved in what's going on in the community, and we also get them now to know people in the right place and who to go to, so they feel like they can talk to anyone. So now they know the direct person who to go to talk to, Quintin.
And, obviously you talked about, at that time, there were a lot of killings among young people.
Young people.
And obviously a lot of that took place on Charleston's east side. Right. What is the state of the east side now in 2019 in your mind?
Well, 2019 right now, what I'm seeing is that the murder rate in the downtown east side now is going out to run. It went down real low, Again, knock on wood, that that we don't have as much as we used to have back then, So again, the crime rate, the murder rate in the city of east side have come down real well now because people are more involved in whatever going on, and that's what we do. We get the community involved and get the community back, and so we can have community support when we do things. And by saying that, Quintin, is that every other week, maybe once or twice a month, we do some type of community activity that will really keep people out in the street. So now they are more focused on what's going on in their community. Now they become to be policemen in their own community.
And how else is the community getting involved to keep really crime down?
Well, the community get involved whenever we have an event in the community. We will walk the community, put out flyers. Like the past weekend gone, we noticed there's Wilson Street, Rubber Mills Manor, public housing down here. We have Bridgeview, which is Bayside in the Upper Peninsula. Then we have the East Side. So we went Friday to Bridge down Rubber Mills Manor, which is Wilson Street.
Right.
We did the Easter egg hunt out there. We had everybody out there running around looking for the egg, trying to find the golden egg. We awarded one golden egg winner, received a bicycle, another one that received $40 in the golden egg. And then that was Friday. Then Saturday we ran up on Bridgeview. And we hired about 1,000 eggs, and now maybe 10 baskets per community, and then we wrap it up Sunday at Martin Park on Jackson Street, which is in the heart of the city of Charleston, one of the largest public housing. So we did like 1,500 eggs there, 2 golden eggs, and Easter basket, and snow cone and bounce house. This thing to make the community. Then when we saw a whole family came out. The mother bring out the kids, and they all were hunting eggs. They was just having fun, and that's what community about. Is bringing the community together, getting them all involved back in it.
You talk about public housing. How do you define that these days?
As people call it project, but I call it public housing for the simple fact that we need to put emphasis on what it really is. It's supposed to be public housing, and it's really not really what's supposed to be. Quintin, we have families now being booed out for the smallest thing. They're being held prisoner in their own home, because now with the new law where they got, if you're sitting on your front porch, you got to have your door locked. You can't be outside with your door open, and that's kind of hard. But if you sitting on the porch and your door open and something happens, so I'm running through your house like you normally do, people run in your house, officer pursue them in there, and then you get a letter from housing saying that you're getting evicted because of that, and you can't sit on your own front porch without having to lock your door, and it's not right.
And you talk about public housing. Always there's a debate about affordable housing and workforce housing. How do you define that?
Well, I define that as you say, affordable houses, and then I look at it as affordable for who. We have people working at minimum wages, and they talk about 70 to 80% of the median income going to be. So if you're looking at $1, you're taking 80 cents out of a person's dollar to pay rent or whatever. Quintin, I don't think that's affordable. So you only got 80 cents. You only have 20 cents left out of $1. I'm just using that for an example. You only gonna have 20 cents left out of $1. Now you got to do food, light and gas, and then also your kids gonna need things if you got 2 to 3 kids in, So you really got to look at it. You got to look at what the word affordable means. It's for who, it's for college students, it's for the seniors, it's for a working parent, a working single parent that's trying to make ends meet for their kids, So we got to put a confine on the word affordable.
You talk about kids. You're around kids a lot of times.
Yes.
You mentor them, you educate them. How would you talk to the average kid about gentrification in Charleston?
That is hard, Quintin, to talk to them about gentrification because they don't see it yet. Hopefully as they get older and becoming to be teenagers and older, they kind of sit back into it right now. But talking to them for gentrification is very hard because they don't understand what the word gentrification means. Okay. Now they see changes in the community coming along, and you're trying to get them to accept that, then how they accept it, because there are questions coming to me every day. Well, Coach, how come we can't go in our swimming pool? They in our pool. Coach, why they got a kayak in the pool when we got the swimming? So see, they see things, but then they don't really know what the word gentrification means. So that means, changes. And every time we look, someone, well, my friend and this family just moved up in North Charleston, So all my bestest friends going. So see, people still moving out. I mean, people don't see, but people still moving out. I feel like all that play a part of gentrification, because if you can't live in the city, you got to go somewhere, So you're killing the mindsets, and you're killing their mindset. Now they feel like, why their friend falling up and leaving, but they don't know. But again, like you said earlier, it's a part of gentrification. That's gentrification kicking in and moving a lot of us out.
And obviously, let me stay with the kids, because obviously the Philip Simmons basketball camp is coming up this summer.
Oh yes. Well, we get to be in a bigger time our year for the organization. Next month we will start off, and we will go from May all the way until August. And you got to remember, the reason why I say our bigger time, because right now, if you look, the city of Charleston Parks and Recreation playing baseball right now. So by the time the kids get out of school in June, the city of Charleston Recreation Department have nothing for these kids to do. Absolutely nothing. There's no baseball going on. By middle of May, they be down play low league. They be down finished with the All-Star. So that means once that's over, what they have to do, Quintin. And that's where CCPLC kicking in. We ran the full up summer basketball from the last Saturday in May until August the 10th. Just before they go back to school. They go back on the 16th.
Right.
So we got them the whole summer. And then on June the 10th, we start our One Unit Sports Summer Camp, which we charge for the whole summer,
right.
$25 per kid
right.
per summer.
Right.
So that child in a safe haven the whole summer while his mom's working. Ain't got to worry about nobody calling us about, the police calling us about, we have your son because he or she was down in the market panhandling. So we got a summer camp set up where a working parent can't afford to pay $125 to $150 per kid every 2 weeks. So this organization, we set up a summer camp where a kid can be in a summer camp from June the 6th until August the 10th. The whole summer except for the weekends. We do it from 8 in the morning till 5 in the evening. So that give a working parent a chance to work in peace, but don't have to leave their job if something happened to their kids, So we got that on Monday through Fridays. We got the Full Up Summer Basketball League, which is now going on 14 years.
Right.
And we got that on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So we got them focused. We got them involvement. We also have a youth and teen council where we molding and groom the next set of leaders. So we use the youth and the teen in the community, put them in leadership role, have them coaching the younger age group for Full Up Summers for the summer basketball. And also we have them being camp counselors in the summer camp. So that gives them some part of ownership, stability for being in the community. So now they have leadership in their community on Monday pairs.
You talk about the kids, you talk about the Charleston City market.
Mm-hmm.
Where should the discussion about the Palmetto Roses go in your mind?
The Palmetto Roses in my mind it's a beautiful program, and it's really teaching young kids how to be entrepreneur and to be independent. But they take it to another level where they're almost to a point where they have to get like a license almost, because they got to get a badge, they got to go to a class.
Right.
The kid go to the class, they come downtown in the market, then and now they're telling them where they could go and where they cannot go. The area where they have they call it the Miop, where they have the table there for the kids to sit at to sell the roads, are not in the area that where the tourism come through at. They got them on the outside of the market. They got them on the back of the custom house. They got them across the street from the aquarium. They got them on one part of Waterfront Park. It's not right. If you look at it, if you go up and down all of the street, there's vendors all over the street. So why that the kids that really was born and raised here and trying to do the right thing, I'd rather them be down in the market, Quintin, selling roses instead of standing up on the corner in the community selling drugs. Come on, let's look at it. We teaching them how to be independent. We teach them how to be entrepreneurs, but then we still trying to dictate to them. Well, not we. They still trying to dictate to them of where they can go ahead and make their little money. Some of those kids go downtown to sell those roses, to help mother out that working in a hotel, turning on bed, serving people to help their mother paying the light bulb. They help their mother putting food on the table for their little siblings, and also they're helping themselves out. They got the little phone, they keep the little phone working. That's a part of being responsible about something. And when you're trying to take that away from them, it really, to me, it really hurt. I've been out there with them when it first started. When the thing started back, maybe Quintin, I would say, in a little longer, because it started like in the late 90s. There was a young man, Tyquan Simmons, sat on Martin Park one Saturday, and I thought he was putting together a rose. Planting the palm for Palm Sunday, but it wasn't. He made a rose. And that was the first kid I saw make that rose, and they will not acknowledge that young man today. And now this Palmetto Rose become to be almost a part of Charleston tourism industry because they're trying to get it. But I'm just saying, Quintin, we got to go back to where we started from, and let's really look. Yeah, they run the Rose program, but any one of them who trying to run the Rose program, kid, they plant a rose. You teaching them how you run the class, but there's no one in the class can show them how to make a rose. So how can you hold a class with something you can't teach? That's what I'm saying. Now you can tell them how to go, and you want to tell them where to go and how to do it, but until you can actually sit there and make a rose and show them how to make the rose, you can't teach the street grass basket how to make the basket if you don't know how to do it. So you can't show the kids how to make the rose if whoever running the class don't know how to make the rose. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah, the conversation.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
talk to me about these people who are complaining about the kids who are saying that they're trying to raise money for the basketball camps. Are there any basketball camps around here?
No.
Okay.
There are no basketball camps going around here, Quintin, during this time of year. Now, there's a lot of kids that are playing AAU basketball.
Okay.
All right. Now, they might be raising money to get on the AAU basketball team, which is a traveling basketball team. You know, and there are a lot of kids trying to get into the AAU, and again, that can be pricey. So that anywhere between $300 to $500. That covers the hotel expense, all their traveling fee, you know, their meal and all that. So, you know, so they, instead of putting that kind of pressure on their moms, they do get out and try to be independent and at least try to meet them halfway. And a lot of the coaches that run the AAU, they kind of like look at them. So if a kid coming up on their own to raise the money, then they will fundraise on the other half to kind of meet them halfway with it. And it's beautiful. And now they get a chance to go down like to Florida, to North Carolina, you know, they get to go to Sumter, you know, they get to go wherever they're hosting the tournament at. Now they get the chance to get out of their comfort zone, because really, if you look at the kids in the city of Charleston have no outlet. They have no way to go.
I know earlier you complained about the locations that some of the, Palmetto Rose vendors are basically, in your mind, confined to. Are there any other ideal locations in your mind right now?
Yes. You know, Quintin, if you go on the corner of Market and East Fifth Street,
Right.
South Market, North Market, when the cruise ship comes in, everyone walks straight down on North Market and go into the market.
Sure.
Well, the kids is on the outside on South Market by the custom house. So, and you know, when you come off the ship, you got buses pick them up,
Right.
take them certain area.
Right.
Some people walking into the market.
Right.
If the kids were somewhere in the market area, as they can, you know, as people coming through, they will get a chance to see their art. They will get a chance to really make contact with people when they come in by purchasing their products. But when you got them on the outskirts, it's not right. They are not part of what you say you're really trying to put together. And so, even on Waterfront Park, you know, you walk up on Waterfront Park, you got the beautiful waterfall in the front, you know, and the swing and all that, and then the kids sitting to the opposite side of that. You know, if I go down to First Citizen Bank right now, you look in the front lot, there are a vendor out there selling tickets to go on the carriage ride. Why there ain't a booth there for the kids to sell roses? Right on the corner of Meeting and Market. All the traffic coming up King Street into the market again, Quintin, they got them placed in the wrong area. You know, someone need to look at that real closely, and let's find a way that we can get them, and not say a table. Matter of fact, they can give them a table in the market. I mean, the city can give them one table. They can be sitting right in the market the same way how the sweetgrass basket person got a table. At least one of them can be there. If you got a table where they can rotate, you know, 3 to 4 hours at a time, when someone else coming in and sell their rolls, we teaching them how to be putting these people in. But right now, we ain't helping them, we dictating to them, and that is really not helping, you know. And they don't get their head to complain. They don't get their head to kids. Well, they got this officer they call Batman or this or that or that. I hear these stories every day as they come back from downtown, you know. Oh, coach, I forget and leave my shirt, and you know, I forget my badge, and they run outside the improvement running behind them, you know. You're training them to be criminal. You're training them to run from the law, you know. Listen, there are multiple ways that you can fix it. You know, all you got to do is just sit down, Quintin, do a research on it, and let's come up with a solution for it. Our kids don't have to run from the policemen all the time. Again, and now as they become to be a little bit older, and when something happens in the community, you know, they don't want to talk to them. With every time the one who they know in the community, like the cat team, Seabrooks and his crew, Olsen, well, they can talk to them because they know them. They see them on a day-to-day basis. But when they're down here and when they see them downtown and they're the market corner, and every time they see them, they got to run. They jump on their bicycle, run out in the middle of the street, or they're running, dodging in between cars. A car come by and so one of them can hurt it, then what happened then? Who fault it is? But they're giving them tickets. They kind of lighten up on the tickets, but they're giving them tickets. They're getting tickets. From the tickets, they go to family court. They go to court. They put them in They got to go to PTI, where they pay a counselor in PTI $125, $150. Then they send them over to the family center. In the family center, they got 2 months of session, which is $25 per session. You killing them. And then as soon as they get to the last one and something happening, he or she can't make the last class, then they violate them and send them back to family court. So it's a system that constantly, vote to get revenues out of them, but it's not going back into what they're doing. Somebody really need to sit back and look at it. This road stuff is very touching to me because I've been following it, for years now. I always with them, talk with them. Sometimes I take my weekend and go sit down and mark and let's observe and let's see what they're doing. But it's not right. But it can be fixed. I wish the leaders in this community, the elected officials, and in the Peninsula, really let's sit down and let's hack it out and let's really fix this program for these kids.
Who are the leaders you're talking about in your mind?
Well, mayor and council, might as well call a spade a spade. The mayor, the councilmen, them, even our legislators. Everybody have a part of that. Because sooner or later, these little kids who are being run right now are going to be the next person that's going to have to cast a ballot. And at the age of 17 years old, turning 18, we take them and raise them to vote. So now they are voting. As you can see, young people are stepping up to the poll now to vote. So that should tell them something. You got to turn your ear now to younger people now who are really voting. Because I know for a fact, the last election, I took like 12 new voters with me to vote. And I got it on my phone on video. Yeah. And they were real proud because they get a chance to cast that ballot. They went on that time.
Yeah. And what is something that you want people to know about the 15 years that the Philip Simmons basketball camp has been going on?
Well, man, the 15 years of the Philip Simmons camp, basketball, man, it's just, you come out there on a Tuesday or Thursday or Saturday, you see joy, you see love, you see happiness. You really get a chance to see a kid be a kid. Not only the little kid at 4 years old. We talking about those kids who up there like 25, 30, mid 40 years old. They're versus the 4-year-old kid because they're out there running up and down that court and they're really having a good time. And that's what we do. We give them a chance to be a kid. Because remember, in Charleston, through the state recreation, they say the main word is playing and having fun. And so when they're on that court, they playing, Quintin, you see the kid come out of everybody, man. You really get a chance to see them playing. And you see the little kid take 1 bounce and 5 steps. And then you see a bigger one out there trying to dunk and they choking. But that's what it's all about. It's just about they get a chance to unwind, wind down, and really get a chance to be themselves. Because if you got a bunch of adults on there right now still trying to live the kid life, which was script on them at an early age. And they are being script on them at an early age.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Edward Jones, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you, Quintin. Thank you.
Anytime.
All right.
Yes, sir.